Hello, everybody. Before we get into the show this week, everybody here at Elite POV, just wanted to have a very special moment of silence for Scott Hall. All the love goes out to all of his friends and family. We miss you, bad guy, and thank you for all the memories, and we'll do our best to keep your legacy going and to keep your memories for future generations. So thank you, Scott Hall. It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite. Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Hey, yo, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means, where our champion is Latina, and you know what that means! I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, and as you can tell, we are very excited over here at Elite POV. So let me introduce first the most excited person on this podcast for the events that took place on last night's Dynamite. First off, Jackie the Draw Rodriguez, what is up?
Man, to say that I am hyped is a complete understatement. So damn happy. Felicidades a Thunder Rosa.
Ooh.
This is major celebration time for me.
And the man who's oohing and ahhing over there, the newly named microphone entertainer himself, Anthony DeStefano, what is up?
That was me that oohed. That got what?
There's a problem,
Oh,
and
sorry.
we need to start in a chat to Anthony Appreciation Society.
Ugh.
For some reason, I start this show, I bring Phil into podcasting, and I get moved down the list. Every week, I get moved down the list because I'm a microphone entertainer. I am the influencer of the show. I need to be the first introduced. Put some respect on my name.
And the man who actually oohed and ah, the cucaracha himself,
Ooh.
Kyle Masters, what's up?
You know what? And I'm going to stop you right there because you know what?
Hmm.
You're right. We are all microphone entertainers here. We are renaming Elite POV to the World Entertainment or World Microphone Entertainment Company. Elite
Mech.
POV is dead.
Mech.
Yeah.
Heck and a keck and mech.
Mecca.
Yeah.
The heck and a keck and mech. That is us.
The show
Listen,
This Is Us was about my life. It was to pop the boys.
It was to pop the boys.
Everything we do here at Elite POV. No, I said everything we do here at Elite POV is to pop the boys.
I think we've killed all our audio listeners' ears in the first 30
Yeah, I
minutes.
know.
30
Yeah.
Sorry,
seconds of this
headphone
podcast.
users.
Yeah.
You're lucky I killed your ear and I didn't break your arm, because I will fucking break your arm.
And if it's your first time coming into this madness, we do this show every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/ElitePOV with the replays up available later on youtube.com/ElitePOV or anywhere you get your podcast. And like Kyle said, we're blowing your ears out this week because we're too excited. We're too hyped for everything that happened last night. And speaking of popping the boys, ElitePOVmerch.com. You can go up there, get our brand new shirt, Popping the Boys. It is up
Pops
there
the boys.
right
Mhm.
now. everybody make sure you go and get that shirt because that is a very popular saying for anybody who's been in this chat every week. We say it all the time. We have a good time.
In Chicago, I want a whole day of everyone wearing Pop the Boy shirts.
Yeah, please. So we got a couple months. Everybody can get these shirts. I'm sure we can save. We can do what we got to do. But speaking of Chicago, patreon.com/ElitePOV, where we had the 10-second count that is up there still free for everybody. We have the Nerd Show coming soon. We have Top Girl Talk coming soon, a new episode. So stay tuned for that. A lot of cool things coming to patreon.com/ElitePOV. And all of that money that you guys donate to us is going to our Chicago trip. So we thank you for everybody who is subscribed so far. And we're looking forward to the people who hopefully subscribe soon. So thank you guys very much. And listen, if you don't have any money, it's fine. No problem. Just make sure you go over to our social medias and follow Elite POV clips on TikTok. Hit share, hit like, hit subscribe, all these things. It's free and it could really help us out. 5-star ratings, Apple Podcasts, Spotify goes a long way. And it's all for free. It only helps us out.
You forgot something about, I mean, we can't announce it yet because it's still in beta. So guys, we actually have something very, very cool coming to Patreon exclusive members.
Licorice thongs.
Yes. we found a wholesaler. We got the deal done. Lots and lots of licorice thongs coming to just our exclusive Patreon members.
Fruit by the Foot 2.0 is what it's called.
It's an assortment of flavors, you know, whatever tickles your fancy.
Yes.
We got it for you. So,
I like grapefruits.
Yeah. The ever popular grapefruit flavor.
Yeah.
But yes, something else is coming to Patreon as well.
Yeah, we have a very special giveaway that was brought to us by newest member on the team, Heel. Brought us a very special thing. Once we get it kind of figured out how we want to announce it, how we roll it out, we're going to give it to you guys. But trust me, this is something, especially for people who have their own podcasts, this is going to be very big. So make sure you stay tuned to that because we will be making an announcement very soon. And before we get into the show, one last thing.
For the announcement.
This is the announcement for the announcement.
Like we always do. Yep.
Shout out TK.
Us at Elite POV, we love giving back and we love helping, especially when helping is one of our own, right? Jackie posted a very special GoFundMe link. You can head on over to her profile to help her brother Nate with some surgeries that he has coming up. So if you got any extra money and you want to give back, we're definitely into giving back here, right? We love you, Nate. Let's try to get this done for Nate. Nate is awesome, great guy, right? Jackie's family's awesome. We see her mom in the chat all the time, Nate in the chat all the time. So anything that you guys have, please go over to Jackie's.
I'll let you buy my T-shirts or our T-shirts for this, and then we'll give the money to Nate.
Yeah.
There you go. See, right? Make sure you go over to Jackie's Twitter at LoveYouMake24. There's a very special GoFundMe link if you want to donate. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
But enough with the housekeeping. Let's jump right into the show because, like I said, this is a very special moment, a very big moment for our show. And I'm going to start with the Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker main event steel cage match. And Jackie, how does it feel that La Mera Mera is finally AEW Women's Champion? Let us know how you feel.
What?
To put it into words, I got very emotional last night at the result of that match. This is a tremendous moment and what it represents for the Latin community overall, that Thunder Rosa is officially the first Mexican-born women's champion in a national company here in the U.S. So from the moment...
Wait, for clarification, not to cut you off, sorry.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of people on Twitter were like, it's Melina. Melina is American born. She was born in California. So that's why, because I was like, wait, wasn't Melina it? But Thunder Rosa was born in Mexico. So when people say that, that's
male and female, though. I thought she was the first Mexican-born heavyweight champion because everyone said Mysterio, he was from San Diego. Eddie Guerrero was born in the States as well.
He was born in Texas.
So doesn't that make her the first Mexican world champion?
Well, Rey Mysterio. Well, he was born in San Diego.
Mysterio was born in San Diego.
Well, do we count the NXT heavyweight belt?
Yeah, because Andrade.
Because Andrade won the NXT heavyweight championship. Like they're
for argument's sake, it's definitely the first woman to ever hold heavyweight gold for a national company in the U.S. We could fact check that a little bit, but regardless, her coming out to the ring with an all women's mariachi band, representing her
mariachi.
heritage. Everything from start to finish, it was an intense, brutal match. Shout out to, I know I love Thunder Rosa, and I'm going to go more into the Thunder Rosa praise in a minute, but a match needs two opponents. And Britt Baker is the consummate professional. The things that she's willing to put her body through. She had an amazing run as champion. Not going to take anything away from her. Give Britt Baker her flowers. That match could not have happened without her. But
shout out to Britt Baker's gear too. Shout out to that.
Oh yes, shout out to her Scott Hall tribute. That was a very nice touch also. But it's immensely significant, and I was just so proud to see Thunder in her moment, even though I had complained about the pay-per-view not being that moment. But this felt big. It was a women's cage match, main event. It was as bloody as you could have imagined. I know there are people complaining about that, but
And we'll get to that after we get to the match.
Yeah.
I got things to say, but we'll get to that. So
But overall, I can't really put into words. Thunder Rosa has been an incredible inspiration to me personally for everything that she represents, for everything that she has done for women's wrestling and helping young up-and-comers with Mission Pro. I can't say enough positive things about her and the way that she proudly represents for us Latinas out there, for us women out there. And she is going to be an incredible women's champion. Congratulations, Thunder Rosa. It could not have happened to a better person.
Now, Ant, you weren't in the chat live watching with us last night, so I'm very interested to what you thought about the match.
I thought it was fantastic. Just like Jackie says, every great feud needs two people to feed into it, right? And as disappointed as I was at the pay-per-view, I thought they fell flat. I didn't think they had the best chemistry. Everything I said was totally turned last night. The chemistry was amazing. The storytelling was amazing. One of the hardest matches you can have is a cage match because you can't use the outside, right? And so many times in wrestling now, when there's a blood feud, they go to the outside, they use the concrete, they use the weapons, they use all this stuff, right? They just had to use the cage, and they use chairs and all that, but it wasn't like they could fight all over the arena, use the stage. Like you're confined to a small ring, and the ring is smaller if you notice.
Well, speaking of that, so we were talking about it last night, but do you like the way that AEW does cage matches? It's essentially Hell in a Cell without a top on it because the cage is a lot wider.
That's new, right? I've done that before, right?
I like their cage. I love their cage.
I do too.
They did it with Cody and Wardlow, didn't they?
I don't remember them going around the ring. I thought that was like
me either. Maybe, I don't know.
The thing we see overplayed with cage matches, I feel, is like people trying to get out. Britt did it early, right? Britt was doing it, and then she stopped trying to do it. It became a fight. She wanted to win, and she didn't play the chicken shit the whole time. There was really no interference. There was nothing that Britt Baker stood like a champion and died on her sword, which is what I love that AEW does a lot of times is, yes, she could be a heel, but she's going to go out on her back. She's going to die on her shield, and she's going to go out respectfully in a cage match where she almost wins. And Thunder Rosa, I mean, that pop when she came out, she came out, and as soon as she walked out, I said, she's winning the championship. Like it's, I mean, we all expected it, but when that happened, I was like, this is her night. Because if you don't give her the belt, like that place is going to riot. Because they were there is a Thunder Rosa pop, and that was massive last night. Just seeing how the emotion is when she wins too. The road was long for her. I mean, Christ, WWE wanted her to be a referee. Now she's world champion.
Unbelievable.
Right? Unbelievable. What a talent. I'm so happy. I'm glad now that it's off Britt. I think Britt's reign got a little stale because I think they fed everyone they could to her. I know they probably had this plan to have Thunder win this on this day in her hometown, a year removed from the biggest win of her life that didn't actually count. Well, this one counts. So I think that the story was there, but who were they going to feed to Britt? They had to take it off Britt because now you could have the heels now go for a championship, go after Thunder Rosa, and let Thunder Rosa become more popular. I do think this is how you bring new names in the mix, though. I really do. I think this is how you're going to bring a lot of these new free agent women in. Is they're gonna come in as a surprise challenger, or maybe you haven't seen Ruby on Ruby Soho on TV. Maybe you turn Ruby. There's a lot of things that you can do now that would feel a lot different because it felt much of the same for the past like 6 months.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa is definitely a different type of champion, right? She's Britt was like, to use a term that everyone used, she was like the chicken shit heel that like used the stable to keep winning and stuff like that, and was more promo work. Where I think Thunder Rosa is going to be like the fighting champion. It's like bring them all to me right now. That's what I want to do.
It's like,
and don't worry,
Britt's
Jackie, I'm going to get back
character.
to you for the actual match.
Britt's character, right? Britt's
Yeah.
character work is fantastic.
Yeah,
In the ring, Thunder Rosa is head and shoulders above.
yeah, it's a different
Right?
level, which is cool because, like you
it's
said,
fine.
it's different.
It's different. And you don't need to be the best. I mean, Jade's not the best wrestler, right? Jade's not the best wrestler. But as a champion, she's fun because she's entertaining. She has her own dynamic. You can have these different dynamics and still be entertaining. Not everyone has to put on a 5-star match. It's how the presentation presents them. And right now, Thunder Rosa is presented as what an underdog story. Not supposed to happen. She's on top of the world. And I think you're going to have to kill her to take the title from her.
So, Kyle, what'd you think of everything?
Oh man, this was awesome. I was so happy that this main event, the show, I think there was a lot of hype behind it. You can tell even with the crowd that the anticipation built more as the entrances started and went on. Like even before the match, as soon as the bell rung, crowd went absolutely nuts. Like this was very well done. I don't want to sound negative. I do agree. So I do agree that, the Brit thing got a little stale. I kind of agree with Ant there. Like, she kind of ran through everybody. I'm still on the fence where I didn't like the way they did this. Like giving Thunder Rosa automatic #1 contender right after she lost the title match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That
The whole
transition to
angle could have
this.
been different. I think, Kyle, were we talking about it all fair where you said you could have easily just had like Hayter beat the shit out of Thunder Rosa?
Yeah.
And it's like she can't participate this week at the pay-per-view. Like it's just an easy way around
There
it.
would have been a way.
Yeah, or even if I know they really want to stray away from, the quote unquote fuck finish. But if it warrants it and it's not like they didn't know that the next week Thunder Rosa is going to be #1 contender. They knew ahead of time. So at the pay-per-view, they could have done a fuck finish and have Jamie Hayter or Reba cost the match and play that into a story. Don't just end it clean. Sort of clean. There was a lot of interference, but like there was a lot of interference. There was no DQ. What I mean is like there was no disqualification. I know they stay away from. But that could have warranted it if you were planning on what you were going to do the next 2 weeks after. But
you should have just had an injury angle where she gets hurt back. Like it's the easiest thing to write, and it gets more people behind her.
Great match, fantastic. So happy for Thunder Rosa that you can just tell as soon as the 3 count hit, she bawled. She started bawling. She got emotional right away, and I saw clips after of like off the air when she was going up the ramp. She broke down on the ramp too. She fell on the ramp and started crying again. Like this really, really meant a lot to her. So I'm excited for this title run with Thunder Rosa, and I do agree with Ant too. I think it's going to start bringing in more talent. I do think more new talent is probably going to be saved for the Owen Hart tourney in a month that they're going to start doing.
That's a good
that's
point.
I think that's what they're going to use to feature some new talent. And maybe hopefully Toni Storm. I know she's starting OnlyFans, which everyone's just waiting to click buy on.
Yep, just put $20 aside.
Yeah, but I think that
loved cake.
That
I've always loved cake.
I think that turn's going to feature a lot of new stars. I have a feeling that Maki Ito is going to make her return to AEW during that tournament.
I hope so.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what feuds we're going to come out of this now. As Thunder Rosa is the champion, who's going to be the first one to step up and go into a feud with her.
Great point, though. I love that they brought Aubrey out for the count. I love that in that moment they brought out the female referee.
Shout out to Paul Turner taking a double bump, a super kick, and then a spear out of the ring.
He got rocked.
He got rocked.
Yeah, he got fucked up.
Shout out to Aubrey for counting on top of thumbtacks. What?
Yeah.
You saw that picture?
Insane. Yeah. Of her arm all shredded up.
Badass.
But so Jackie, I want to get back and I want to really discuss this match in full, right? So many great moments. happened in this match. What were some of your favorite moments just watching this match?
Oh my God. Some of the chair spots that they were doing, there was 2 separate chair spots with the piles of chairs. There was the avalanche air raid crash that Britt did initially. Then there was her setting up like she was doing a house of cards just out of steel chairs. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, whoever's going to take this bump is going to be feeling this for like weeks. And Britt went through, there was zero give to those chairs. I don't know if they just forgot to put the right chairs out or something, or if the way she just hit it, she hit it stiff as hell and took that whole bump with her back. I hope that she's in good shape after that. But damn, it's just one of
that was like the safest way to do that bump.
the safest way, but it just looked so damn freaking painful. And as soon as they go under the ring, they're gonna go for that bag of tacks. And whenever thumbtacks get introduced into the equation, pain is going to be had. I remember thinking as a kid, like, oh, well, they must rig those. They probably don't even have real points in them. They probably don't, whatever. And then as you see more of these things happening and you see like they're in the back and they're getting like the tacks pulled out of their body. Like you said, Aubrey doing the freaking count, and she counts aggressively.
Hard,
so those thumbtacks were embedded in her arm.
No, because I had the same thing as Jackie. Like when you were growing up, it was like kids talked about it. Like, yeah, like there's a couple of real ones, but most of them are just look like
real.
tacks.
I
And
never thought they're fake. Never. Even when I was a kid.
Well, that's because in Canada, wrestling's like viewed as like a real sport, and here everyone thinks it's just fake bullshit. So like the stories you hear when you're a little kid,
it is a real sport. It's real to me. Damn it.
Did anybody like backyard wrestle? Like
No.
really?
Oh yeah.
So my buddy had a ring in his backyard, and we had thumbtacks,
Oh,
and
I didn't have that far.
they hurt a lot.
We made a ring out of we literally took string and made a square in the backyard and just used the ground.
Oh no, we had
hold on. Wade in the chat right now. Do you really have an appointment with Britt Baker next week for a dentist appointment? Because that is some legendary shit. That is some fucking legendary shit. I know you live in Florida, but that's fucking awesome. That's so cool.
Isn't there a train in Pittsburgh?
No, her things
they
live
Florida.
in Orlando.
Oh.
Her and Adam Cole live in Orlando.
I know he did. Yo, I love it.
Wade is a freaking man.
Wade is a legend.
But also, like, I think it was cool in regards to the match. Like, the first time Britt Baker bled, it was the hard way. Like, it wasn't, she didn't bleed. She got her head hit against the cage, and like she bled for real. And I think a spot that they weren't prepared for her to bleed that early in the match. You saw the ref kind of going over to her frequently, making sure she was okay. And of course, Britt Baker's a warrior; she fought through it. But the funny thing about blood is we're watching it, and Kyle's laughing like you can't tell what's Thunder Rosa's blood and what was the makeup because it was just that red streak. It was like what was what, And then it's just cool that the women in AEW are allowed to give these rivalries the seriousness and like the high stakes that it deserves, the same way as the men's matches have, And Jackie, anything else you want to say about the actual match before I fucking just go off on Twitter?
No, I actually really want to hear you go off. So I think as far as the actual match goes, I'm good. I said what I wanted to say.
Dring, classes in session. Switch that layout because Professor Philium is here.
I just love that you have all this stuff handy. So listen, everybody, all right? We all saw the discourse on fucking Twitter all goddamn day. The blood. There's too much blood. If you don't like the fucking blood, go watch the Disney Channel. I'm tired of this shit. For so many years as a WWE fan, all you dumb fucks were on Twitter like, we just want equality. We want this. We want the women to be able to have feuds like the men. We want it to be serious like the men. We want to get real stakes in these matches. Okay, AEW's giving us that, and they're allowed to bleed. They're allowed to bleed. It's not like Tony Khan has a gun to their head, and it's like, oh, you have to bleed in this match. They're competitors, and they want to compete. That's fucking it. That's the way it is. You see female athletes in the Olympics push through injuries and push through all this crazy stuff, right? You see WNBA players get cut open, still finish the game. Like Diana Taurasi's a monster, right? Nothing's taking her off the court no matter what happens. So why aren't the women allowed to showcase? I understand you live in a fucking WWE bubble that they tell us that fucking Dana Brooke winning the 24/7 title actually means something when no one gives a shit, right? And also, let's think back to the Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair thing, right? The parking lot brawl that preceded the Mania main event. No fucking blood. Let me smash your head through a window and see if your fucking head doesn't bleed. Give me a fucking break. This is wrestling. We are a pro wrestling company here at AEW. This isn't sports entertainment. We're not sports entertainers. Give me a fucking break. We're here to wrestle, and the women are allowed to wrestle here. Get over it. Plus, the blood makes sense in this instance because they had that lights out match last year, and the blood was a callback to the brutality that started their feud to begin with. So yet again, all these fucking, as Kyle calls them, drones, or as I call them, cucks, these WWE cucks who go on Twitter and see clips posted by other people on their timeline and want to judge what's going on here. When in reality, if you just sit down and watch the show, you would understand that it makes sense that this match was so brutal. When Kenny and Jon Moxley had their lights out match and they were stabbing each other with glass, it made sense because their feud was so brutal. I'm sure once the Jericho fucking Appreciation Society Foundation fights Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston, they're going to try to kill each other and no one's going to care. Why? Because they're guys. If we want equality, we're going to all be equal. And fuck you. Thank you for your time. And
is raising his hand in class.
Professor Phil, question. I read in my former history books that you could be a pro wrestler, but you'd rather be a sports entertainer. Is this true?
Yeah, I'd rather be a sports entertainer and not care about blood and not do all this stuff. But then also, if you don't know, go on Twitter and for, I don't know, fucking 10 years in the WWE before AEW existed, complain that the women aren't put in moments big enough, right? Oh, it wasn't big enough. Oh, listen. Oh, Sasha and Charlotte were in a Hell in a Cell. How do neither one of them bleed? I don't understand. Becky and Charlotte are in a TLC match. They're trying to decapitate each other. Why are there no blood in this match? But then the women bleed in fucking AEW and you have a fucking heart attack. Like, it's ridiculous. And I love how you put Ant sitting in one of the seats. Is that why you guys are laughing?
Kyle's here now. His hands
Kyle's raising his hand.
Oh, I can't see it. So go ahead, Kyle. Oh, yeah, I see it. Kyle, go ahead.
Professor Philium, can you? I'm trying to read here. I don't understand. I need a definition. What is an E-drone? What does this mean?
So an E-drone, or as they're called on the streets, a cuck, they go on Twitter and all they do is look at clips or look at what their friends who don't watch AEW are also tweeting and just come up to with their own assumption based on that. They never watch the shows. They never watch nothing. And then people come at me. Oh, Phil, you're hating at WWE for no reason.
Kyle,
we all watched that company for 30 fucking years. And
Kyle,
we understand what they do, how they book.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? We all understand what they do. So when I say shit about WWE, it's coming from a place of experience because we all watch that company. All right.
Let's be on the test.
Yes, it'll all be on a test. Right. So enough with this shit already. People had the same complaints at the Lights Out match last year. They had the same complaints at that tag team match with Ty Conti, Anna Jay, the Bunny, and Penelope. These are great moments for the women. It shows how tough they are. It shows that they want to go out there and give their bodies the same way that the men do. This is all we ever want for equality in women's wrestling. And that's it. And at no point was AEW like, oh, this is the first time women's and the first time steel cage and the first time. And we got fucking Serena Williams over here fucking throwing out the first pitch or fucking lighting a torch or whatever the fuck WWE does when the women do anything. They'll give the women everything they want but their own pay-per-view. AEW, with equality, just like Aubrey Edwards has said on Unrestricted.
Can I get the pencil sharpener?
Go ahead. So AEW, just like Aubrey Edwards says on Unrestricted podcast, right? The real sign of equality is when things just happen and it feels normal. That main event last night felt normal. It felt like a serious rivalry where there was a lot of interference, hence the cage, hence the blood. Jackie, welcome to class. I saw your screen pop up on the Twitch.
I know, yeah. This is freaking hilarious.
I just don't understand, like, I feel like at this point, AEW can do anything. Like, Twitter could be like, AEW, would you sign Stone Cold? And they sign Stone Cold, and Twitter be like, oh, they signed Stone Cold. Oh, my God. And it's like, you wanted a, what's the word? You wanted a like an adult version of pro wrestling. WWE was too kiddie. It was too kid friendly. John Cena, oh my God, we hate him. He's about kids and then AEW's like, all right, cool. Here's the TV 14 stuff you wanted as Kyle's sleeping in class. The TV 14, and they gave it to you, and you're complaining. I'm done. Kyle, wake up. I'm gonna call your
Wake
mom.
up in
Parent
class.
teacher
I was
conference.
awake the whole time, Professor. I don't know what you're talking
Put
about.
in the baño.
Yep, you're allowed to go to the bathroom, sir.
Okay. There we go. Hope
Yeah,
everyone
so
enjoyed story
that's
time.
how I feel. That's how I feel about that. It's fucking ridiculous.
I agree, though.
Just enjoy the show.
I love
But we're
the,
happy Thunder Rosa won.
I love the tweet you retweet this to scare an Edro, and it was like all 4 women in AEW bleeding.
But then now the thing is gonna be like, oh, all they do is let their women bleed. Like, it's happened 3 times in 3 years. So it's like, give me a break. Like, give me a break. And it's just like, we're having fun here. We're enjoying the show. They're giving us big moments. Just be happy about it.
Right.
And
You don't
speaking of
Aaron.
and speaking of big moments, at least for me, so we saw that backstage segment with FTR and the Young Bucks. And as we're watching with Jackie, and of course I'm going to go to Jackie first with the segment, right? It seemed like FTR are turning babyface. And shout out to the purple light behind them, kind of teasing the Bret Hart
Pink.
thing with the pink, sorry. So Jackie, how do you feel about it? Are you ready for a babyface FTR?
Oh, it felt so weird. I felt like I was in an alternate universe. I'm like, we have a segment on my TV where you have heel Bucks and face FTR. There was a line that was dropped by Matt Jackson where he says, you can hire the best there is, the best manager in the world. And I'm like, please stop teasing me with these Bret Hart references if you're not going to bring the man himself in.
It's
if
not a
this
tease.
is where
It's
this
a
is
foreshadow.
going,
It's
I'm
happening.
going to lose my mind. It would be such a monumental moment, especially for FTR, with as much respect as they have for Bret Hart. But Bret Hart being the freaking legend that he is,
Yeah.
I'm just like waiting with bated breath. First of all, to see, having the FTR Bucks match run back, because that was a great match that should have happened in a packed stadium, but for reasons, that nobody could control, it didn't. And I think it needs to get its justice and be run back again. But are the roles going to be reversed here? We'll see. But if Bret Hart enters the equation, man, that's going to be some shit right there.
It's going to be really exciting. And I think that I just can't wait to see how a live crowd, a full arena, reacts to this. And we kept saying maybe it'll happen at All Out, maybe it'll happen at Full Gear. But I mean, the way that they're doing this, it might happen at Double or Nothing, which is only it's in
I think
May.
it's
So
see, this is the thing. Is this a seat planted for now, and they're gonna spread this feud out, or are we just gonna get this on a random Dynamite coming up soon? Which my gut's telling me it's gonna be a random Dynamite. I think the smarter way to go about it is if you debut FTR's manager, which is most likely going to be Bret Hart, on the first day of the Owen.
yeah, that'd be cool.
That's got to be it. You got to have your Owen matches on that first day, and then you have to have that tag team match as the main event with Bret Hart debuting as the manager.
Last time
That'd
I
be cool.
had Brett in the main event, Sean put him in the sharpshooter, and I made him ring the fucking bell.
Yeah. Which is cool because this
Brett
will be
screwed Brett.
it wouldn't be like a full circle thing, but it would be kind of cool to see Bret. I mean, technically this will be his second time in AEW because
Yeah,
That
he
is
debuted
correct.
the title.
yeah.
Yeah, he debuted the title.
So,
Yeah, I would
Which
love to
is-
see
it's
Brett
cool.
with them though. Come on, like how perfect, right?
and that theme they did for him like very quick must have been Mikey Ruckus. It almost
Yeah,
sounded
he
like
did.
his exact theme, and it was
Yep.
it was a banger. So they could go with that one too. So I'm pumped for this. It's almost certain it's going to be Bret Hart. They don't just
Yeah,
tease
they
something
pop
like that.
boys.
They don't just tease. If it wasn't going to be Bret Hart, they could have saved that for BT. I feel like anything they kind of tease similar to like that on BT, like just suddenly and then it's not teased the next week, then it's not going to happen. If we get another Bret Hart tease later down the line, it's going to happen, and I have a feeling it's going to happen.
Can't wait.
Jackie, what did Dax tweet yesterday? It was like family.
Oh, it was
Something-
God, family, pro
Wrestling.
wrestling,
And Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
And Bret Hart, yeah.
Uh,
It's so great, man. Hey, are you excited about this? Right, you're the Hart guy on this show. Like, how
Yeah.
excited are you?
fucking hyped. I just love being right all the time, you know? Just everything I've said in the past fucking 10 years has been right? Yes, Brett came off like a bitter guy when he gave he gave my match a 4 out of 10. But guess what? Bret Hart is as the world turns, you find out that Bret Hart's actually like the best guy in the world.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Not only the best wrestler, his wrestling stands up to the test of time. This would be perfect for him to come in. I would love to see him present the Owen Trophy. Him and Martha Hart present the trophy to the winner. I think it would be one of the all-time moments. Yeah, spoiler. I think CM Punk tweet out spoiler. Bret was right. Bret's always right.
Yeah.
Bret Hart is always right, and it's crazy how much of the influence he has on this AEW roster. And I feel like we could celebrate him and give the man his flowers that he deserves. I know he had a couple comebacks in WWE where he's like Natty's manager, which is stupid.
WCW thing didn't really work out too.
WCW, they brought him in as a referee in the biggest match of all time that they had, which was stupid. Then he got kicked in the head by Goldberg, and his career was over.
Yeah.
Like, so WCW didn't work out, but I feel like Bret Hart's not talked about enough for the influence he has, especially on the top guys, FTR, and the top guys like CM Punk on the roster who all pay tribute and homage to him. So I feel like it would be great to get him in there and actually give him his flowers that he deserves and let him get that one. Everyone gets that last shine. And I think AEW would be the place that uses Bret Hart the best. Now, of course, they couldn't use the best moments of his career because he WWE. Let's be real. He was the face of the WWF for like 6-7 years, right?
Yeah.
But you can use his Stampede stuff. You could use his WCW stuff. But just Bret as a character and a person, he's a legend. Like the word legend gets thrown around a lot, but Bret Hart is a legend. Everybody who watches wrestling or doesn't watch wrestling in 1995 knew who Bret Hart was.
Yeah. I think it'll be cool to, because I think that the way WWE has been known to book things, they kind of want us to forget about the past unless they're fighting, unless they can still wrestle and they're like Goldberg or something and they're coming back to wrestle. Other than that, like the past doesn't exist there, right? And you know, especially for everybody on this show who's pretty much the same age, right? The Hart family was such a big part of our wrestling fandom growing up, no matter who it was, right? If you're old enough where you remember just Brat, or, you know, like me and Ant, like we were more the Owen age, right? Like when Owen starts coming in and you have the Hart Foundation and stuff like that. Like, or if you're younger and it's
1990 SummerSlam steel cage,
or if you're younger and it's like Natty, Ted, you know, Teddy Hart and you know, Harry Smith. And them, like the Hart Foundation or the Hart family means so much to pro wrestling. So if this is a way to not only honor Brat, but the Hart family. Now, one question, Ant, before we go to the next topic. Wade said earlier in the chat, I don't know if you saw it. Would it pop the boys if the trophy was shaped like a slammy?
Has to be. It has to be. It has to be
it.
Owen Hart as I did it. I like to thank nobody but myself, right? Like that's that. It needs to be. And it needs to go to a heel. Is Bret Hart at Icons?
Yes.
Oh shit, Bret Hart's at Icons. I'm about to buy a ticket to go meet Bret actually again.
Is he really?
Time. Yeah.
He was on the website today.
I want to try. I'm going to try to buy art there, like the sharpshooter picture, and get him to sign it, and then put it in my studio.
That's a good idea. Good idea.
I already have like a figure signed by Bret, but I want that. But yeah, I think you have to do that with the Owen, right? It has to be like a slammy. It has to be go to a heel who walks to the ring with it. Like it has to be a thing, right? It has to be a huge thing. I still think CM Punk's going to win it.
That'd be really cool, and it'd be a really big moment. He doesn't have
a feud right now. He's a Hart mark, so like a Hart punter.
Yeah.
And they just give the guy the fucking trophy.
So a little backstory on what Ant just said. So if you guys haven't yet, go listen to Jericho's podcast with William Regal. A little warning: it is very emotional. Yeah, William Regal has gone through. Yeah, they're doing a second part, but the first part is about all the health issues that you've seen people falsely tweet saying that he's still going through it. He's not. He's healthy now, but there was a window of time that was extremely bad for William Regal health-wise. And he says in that he does not like using the word mark, that he calls them punters. Like like we call fans marks, he calls them punters. He feels like the mark is a derogatory term. And I know we were talking about it yesterday, and I ain't a wrestler, William Regal, so I'm gonna call them a fucking marks. Right? Wrestlers can't call us marks. It's our word. Remember in Clerks 2, you guys watch Clerks 2?
Yeah, I'm taking it back.
I won't say the term.
Yeah.
I won't say the term that he says in the movie, but we're taking it back.
That movie would not fly at all today.
Yeah, oh my God. Everyone in that movie
would be canceled right away.
So now in the conversation of legends, I think it's only right, even if it's a short discussion, but the Hardys made their tag team debut in AEW, and they got to go against Private Party, which I've said on this show. I've said on this show a million times.
The Hardys as legends. You've changed.
Are they not legends?
You've changed, Phil. This was
the punter in me got me.
Society.
They're still legends. If I don't like them, I don't like them.
You changed.
But it's cool, and like I said, I've never been the Private Party guy. I can honestly admit it, but it is cool because I know how much the Hardys meant to Private Party and how that's a dream match of theirs, and they finally got to have it. So, Ant, with you running your mouth, you talk about it first.
Love that theme song though,
because I made a sandwich during that match because I don't care about the Hardys.
Private Party.
I'm gonna sit here and
act. It was a fun match though.
I don't. I've seen it. I've seen it since I was fucking 12. I don't want to see it.
But can we talk about how good Private Party's theme song is, though?
Listen,
Shots.
I love our community. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I made a peanut butter sandwich, got myself some Doritos, poured a soda, went piss, sat down, and got ready for the next match. Because if I've seen it, I saw Jeff almost break his neck on the Swanton Bomb. Okay, bud, time's up. Let's go. Get this run over with so I can
listen.
Move on.
I would 9 out of 10 times agree with you, and I'm sure with them fighting, but I knew this was a dream match for Private Party, so I wanted to make sure I was paying attention to it.
Right? It's cool, but I'm not going to I don't you know me. What did I do during the Miz and Shane McMahon? What did I do?
What did we do? We went to get you a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Why? Because I didn't care. So when I don't care about something, I'm not going to sit there and take someone else's joy away. I'm going to go do something to bring me joy. My fat ass wanted to eat. Big dog ate. That's it.
Big dog's got to eat.
Fair enough.
I could hear it. Great. Match is over. Swanton Bomb. Crowd went nuts. The crowd was happy. That's all that matters. They're going to bring in a lot of money. They deserve a last run just like everyone else. I've never been a fan. I'm not going to pretend to be a fan because they're in my favorite company. I respect what they do. Thank you, Hardy Boys. There you go.
And thank you for the sandwich break is what you're saying.
Thank you.
Kyle, what'd you think of it?
It was going to be that or another match. Luckily, it was that.
I'm going to reiterate what I said. I think I was big fan of Private Party's theme song. Love it, man.
You guys are the worst.
It gets so hype, man. I love it. Those guys should be pushed more, man. I swear to God.
Tough crowd.
Yeah.
Bring
some fucking professionalism back to this
Isaiah Cassidy is a national treasure. I don't know what you're talking about. He popped me the most in this match.
I like Isaiah Cassidy.
He is the best, man. I love Private Party. They're great. Even in the beginning of AEW, they had a lot of fantastic matches with a lot of good tag teams. They just, for the last year and a half, got shoved into a useless faction. So
that is now renamed,
and it's still useless. I still don't like it. I don't like it.
It makes more sense with Andrade
HFO?
leading it.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
That's
hey, Kyle.
That would have been another.
I don't like
break.
it. Yeah. I don't like it.
No.
Jackie, professionalism, please. What'd you think of this before we move on?
Good match.
Listen,
is this a professional podcast now? Should I go
no,
get my
we are a microphone entertainment show. God damn it,
no.
guys. Get it together.
Goodness gracious. I'm kind of in the same boat normally. I was a fan of the Hardy Boys when I was a kid. Over time, not so much.
Fuck Phil. Let's go. Turn on him. Turn on him.
So the match was what it was. I thought from a sentimental perspective, it's always nice. And I tweeted about this last night. It's always heartwarming to know when a younger talent gets to be in the ring with somebody that they grew up idolizing. So for that, yes, I applaud them. The match went on without a hitch. Jeff Hardy is over as hell with the crowd, and that's not something that can be disputed. But, overall, it was what it was. I still don't care too much for this particular faction. It looks a little bit stronger now that Andrade is the leader. He just looks like a leader, and he brings some appeal to it.
looks
Butcher and
like
the Blade
filet.
look like badasses.
Mm.
You had the Sting and Darby running at the end. I'm like, when is
Sting.
this
It's gotta be
going to
Sting.
be over? But overall, it was a good debut. I'm glad that they went with the Hardys in that interpretation of their characters or whatever you want to call it, rather than the broken versions
You're
of
gonna
them.
get
I
all
don't
of
care
them.
too much
You're gonna
for
get them
that.
all. You're gonna get them all.
I'm sure we
The
will get
Hardyverse.
them all again.
You're gonna get them all. But hey, listen, the only thing that could save Jeff Hardy, because like I do think he's talented. Again, just because I don't like something doesn't mean I hate it. Orange Cassidy, for instance, I'm not a fan, but I don't hate Orange Cassidy, right?
That's not what the dirt sheets say.
The only thing that they're wrong 95% of the time anyway.
Yeah,
I'm the dirt sheet, by
Kimmy
the
Ross
way.
Sapp confirmed. You don't like
The
him.
only thing that
Yeah,
would
you hate
save
him.
Jeff Hardy for me is if I get Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin.
But they were in the ring together, and they were back to back. I mean, maybe this is what leads to it. You know, Tony Khan loves to give us what he wants.
I
Loves
just
to
had-
give us what we
I
want.
just had an epiphany. I know exactly where this is heading. Y'all remember there's both those teams are really good at cinematic matches. We are gonna get a Darby and
boy.
Sting versus the Harbys in the Hardy compound.
The Harbies.
Sorry,
Wait, I know Arby's closed. Did Hardy's buy it? Are we gonna get?
they did. It's gonna be a main sponsor of the.
It's gonna be
Ultimate
the
Deletion
Harbies?
match. There'll be a
Yo.
Arby's right on the lot.
Oh man,
Oh,
That's
Enigma.
great.
They're gonna fight.
Is
through
that
it.
what kind of sandwiches are we getting here?
But yeah, we're gonna have an Ultimate.
Listen, I
Deletion
heard the
match.
Hardys are booked for Ambition this weekend.
Swanton slam sauce on top of your beef and cheddar.
Hey, Kurt Ranner, is there any truth to the rumor that the Hardys are booked for Ambition this weekend?
No.
No,
Clearly will never happen.
we're like the company's old slogan. Get the F out.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think there's gonna be an Ultimate Deletion match, and it's gonna.
That's
be
a good
both-
idea.
Listen,
That's a good idea.
I do like their cinema stuff. I just don't. I don't think that character works well in front of a live crowd. I think those characters work better as the cinematography matches. That's a fair assessment. I think, right?
Yeah.
I think it's better when they do the movie type stuff than when they're in front of people wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Good point. It's all good points. Now the next match that I want to talk about is Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship. A lot of shenanigans in this match. A lot of stuff happening. We saw the return of MJF and Kyle's boy Sean Spears
Yeah.
coming back
Let's
to
go, baby.
help Wardlow get the L to Scorpio Sky. Now, the one thing that I want to bring up, because I want to make sure I don't forget it. So, as much as I love Wardlow, and boy, do I love me some Wardlow, but that spot that's all over the internet where like Wardlow is fucking bouncing his titties in front of Paige Van Sant,
Oh yeah.
and then Paige's husband steps up, and people are like, Wardlow would kill him. Listen, all right. That Paige Van Sant's husband is a killer in Bellator. So, like, I get Wardlow's this big, beautiful, hunky man, but that dude would whoop his ass.
It was just
right?
such a weird flex. Like, I'm gonna make out my wife in front of you. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a little
that was
bizarre.
weird. That was weird about it. And
Yeah,
we
it's-
understand that, like, you know, he's a contracted Bellator fighter, so he can't really he can't get hit because God forbid,
so
right?
he
gets
makes
hurt.
out with his wife.
Yeah.
No, but like
You
obviously it's gonna be weird.
You ever like ready to square up with someone and you're like, yo, what the fuck you want to do? And you're like, kiss my wife. That's what I wanna do, bro.
Wouldn't that throw you
What?
off?
What
Yeah,
are
throw
you
you off.
doing? Why are you doing that? Get
Wouldn't
the
that throw
lips
you off if
away.
someone's ready to square up with you and
This-
they just grab their wife and start
So,
making
and when I come to see you in a few weeks, we're gonna square up and you're gonna kiss Nicole.
Tell you what happens. You watch NXT, and my wonky-eyed friend has people making out in the main event. That's not here. This is AEW. This is the black and gold brand.
Still black and gold. You're 100.
Not anymore. It's the Nickelodeon brand now.
This is the black and gold brand.
But it was cool to see Scorpio Sky get the victory, even if it came from a lot of shenanigans, a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Cody
And-
Rhodes must have been sitting at his house smiling so big. 'cause
Yeah,
it was
from ear to
the mo-
ear.
It was the most overproduced Cody Rhodes like thing in the world.
Segment
The only
ever.
person who didn't run in was me.
That's fucking hilarious. But,
It's like
Jackie, what did you
everyone
think?
was there?
Well, let's start with you, Ann. What did you think of this segment?
It was cool. I mean, it gets you where you need to go. We all knew that, and we got confused because there was a really hot girl in the Wardlow shirt in the front row, and you're probably like, "That's probably Wardlow's girlfriend. He's probably winning the title." So we started talking about that. But storyline wise, it just makes sense. MJF's going to screw Wardlow every chance he gets until they get a one-on-one. I do think that you're going to see Brian Cage as MJF's new muscle. And I think you're going to see that lead to a pay-per-view match where you think Wardlow's going to get his hands on MJF in a Dynamite, and then he brings out his new muscle, and it's Brian Cage. You get a Wardlow Cage match because Cage isn't doing anything, and he can't talk. So, MJF's the perfect person for him. And I think that could happen. I do think though that I do think that you're gonna get this at All Out. I don't think we're getting this at Double or Nothing. I think it's gonna be 6 months.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think this.
We waited this long.
That's true. It's very true. And now, Kyle, I want to read you a text message that I received from one Carrie. Shout out to Carrie, the head booker over there at AEW. She texted me, and the whole list of her AEW review, which is my favorite part of every Thursday, is getting to hear her thoughts on AEW. So she texted me, "Oh my God, when Wardlow kills MJF's bitch with his own chair, I want it to be like a Godfather scene with dramatic music playing, then have him dismember Spears." So Carrie is out for blood.
Yeah,
okay,
what?
your boys attacked her man Wardlow like that. Carrie's out for some Shawn Spears blood. So it's getting crazy in these elite POV streets. So Kyle, what do you think about that?
Well, Carrie, maybe your boy deserved it.
Ooh.
Maybe he deserved
A lot of
it.
heel turns happening on this show.
That's all I'm
Hey,
gonna
listen,
say.
buddy.
Enough said. The
Don't
chairman
ever
spoke.
come out the head booker ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever
Yeah.
come out the head booker.
Right, Goldust.
No,
That was Jericho.
that was Jericho. God, you're Canadian and you didn't even know that. I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Okay.
My goodness.
Wow.
I'm literally going to turn into Chris Jericho of this show.
This is getting intense, dude.
Because
Yeah,
I have
a
Chris
lot of
Jericho's
listeners.
body before he started DDP yoga again.
You have Jericho's winter body.
Use the code Jericho and save 10% on your order at what was the steak? Omaha Steaks.
Steaks.
Lost steaks.
Nothing goes better for Father's Day than big meat in your mouth. Use the code Jericho.
But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, we all saw that there's gonna be some sort of
gonna be
shenanigans with this
sick.
match. They did a good job with teasing us with the Wardlow girls at ringside. Then, but yeah, I'm excited. That's a very, very long feud to go all the way to All Out.
Well, I mean, Punk and him just went 5 months.
I guess Wardlow and MJF have been together for that long. I mean, it probably warrants a long feud.
Yeah.
What if what if All Out by then maybe like MJF wins the TNT belt?
I mean,
then?
Wardlow, you might get a double. I don't know what the plan is because their roster's so like where's fucking Miro? Can Miro come back now, please?
They're still waiting. They're still waiting. I'm telling you, I think they're waiting for Lana to be done filming her movie.
So then if it's not Adam Cole or Kenny Omega, the next champion, to take it off Hangman, maybe MJF is going to win the belt.
And then
Hangman
Listen, we
Page.
need Carrie
And
and
then
all of our AEW spies to look at all the graphics they post and to notice, these 4 people seem to be together a lot. And then we go, oh, those are the next 4 champions.
The
Just like
Easter egg
last time.
hunters over there.
Yeah. The Carries, the Robs.
I'm
The
excited.
Easter
right? Those
PV
people.
Hunter.
I'm excited though. Pumped. I'm glad
Jackie, what'd you think? Oh, sorry, Kyle.
I was
thought
just
you
gonna
were
say
done.
I'm glad we don't have a clear picture yet. They have like a month and a half to build towards Double or Nothing, so I'm pumped.
Yeah. Jackie, what'd you think?
I mean, you don't want to go the route of ultra predictable if you can avoid it. Leave some things to be surprises. All I know is when I saw Wardlow get MJF in that powerbomb position, it was just like I was salivating, like, oh, is this going to be the freaking moment where he finally gets his ass handed to him? But it was not to be. They keep dangling this carrot in front of us, and it's not happened yet. But when it does, it's going to be glorious. Shout out to Scorpio Sky, his first title defense. I think somebody said it in the chat, and I'm really sorry that I can't remember who it was that said it, but it was a good point that they're going to have to give Scorpio another match where there's a little less shenanigans, kind of like build up the credibility of his title run, because his win initially had a lot of shenanigans in it. Then this one did as well. I understand that he is a heel champ, and for all intents and purposes, that is kind of to be expected, that there will be some kind of mishap going on at ringside. But going forward, yeah. So
what's next for Scorpio Sky though? Like, again,
so Carrie had a good point that I definitely want to give her credit for this, because as we know, Carrie is head booker and sees things months before it happens. Mm-hmm. So when Scorpio Sky won the title, he thanked everybody except Ethan Page.
And Ethan Page wasn't out there last night.
Ethan Page was not there last night. Of course, it's Ethan Page is currently moving to the States from Canada, so that could possibly be why he wasn't there.
They're making a story. Maybe they're making a storyline out of it. I like that.
I'm okay with it because I love Ethan Page. I would love to see Ethan Page in a big feud, whether he wins a title or not. I think that'd be an incredible feud. I think it'd be great. Yeah. I think it'd be, I'm excited for that.
What if Scorpio Sky started having like non-title matches and Ethan Page was like the reason why he was losing?
Do we think Hook's gonna be the next TNT champion?
Yeah, it's still pinned on my Twitter account.
I'd still think that like out of nowhere it's gonna
be like
even though
it was wrong.
Even though it was wrong, I'm still.
It'll be like
this time it's gonna be it.
Goldberg won the U.S. title, right? It's like Hook one night. There's gonna be Hook faces Scorpio Sky, and you're gonna be like, wait, what? And then Hook's gonna win.
He's gonna win, randomly. It's gonna be on a rampage.
Yep,
Twitter's
gonna be in New York. No, it's gonna be the next time they go to New York.
Yeah,
which is
Action Bronson's gonna walk him out of the ring, and Ant's gonna come in our chat and be like, "He's winning."
Isn't that in May?
First off, who walked you out to the ring when I called that before the match even started?
No, I was more making fun of you because Ant was like, "Listen, guys, I'm gonna just chill on the couch. I'll see you guys later." And then every 5 minutes it'd be like, "I told you this was gonna happen. I told you. Look how comfortable this chair is."
Yeah,
I'll see you later.
But was he wrong though? Was he wrong?
Was I wrong?
Of course you were right.
Of course.
No one says
you know what's wrong? This fucking camera.
Listen, we've waited long enough to talk about this because this was honestly something that surprised me so much last night. We get the first kind of in-ring segment for the Jericho Appreciation Society, and I will say this, I actually enjoyed it. I love this take that in AEW, the number one way to be a heel is to act like a WWE superstar. And they're like, we're sports entertainers. And if there's nothing more heartbreaking and more heelish than Daniel Garcia talking about he's a sports entertainer, that I know somewhere, poor Carrie had her heart just shattered, right? That is her guy. She loves her some Daniel Garcia. And the promo segment was good. I think everybody shined. I loved how, unlike with the Inner Circle in the beginning, it wasn't just Jericho talking. Jericho made some good points. He had some good jokes, stuff like that. But 2.0 is when we started it off. I thought it was great. Did we need Jake Hager to talk? No, but we got that anyway.
Do we need Jake Hager to ever say S's in anything? Stop.
No. Yeah.
Stop. Like,
exactly.
You know what was my weak spot during when gym class where you could get the President's Award? It was always pull-ups. I couldn't do pull-ups, so I didn't do pull-ups. This man cannot say his letter S's. Let's just avoid letter S words.
Yeah, please. But Jackie, I want to start with you. What did you think of this segment? And are you like me? Are you pleasantly surprised?
Surprised? You surprised?
No, the segment I actually was pleasantly surprised.
Surprised.
Oh my God. AEW has a real knack for tying up some loose ends, like where you would be questioning, like, why are these guys aligning themselves with each other aside from having a common enemy? And they'll bring up the past about Matt and Jeff 2.0 version being brought onto his podcast after they were let go from NXT. And that was their first platform to talk about, coming over to AEW, and, the Daniel Garcia being injured and doing fundraising for that, and Jericho donating money to Daniel Garcia. Like, they'll find a way to make you say, oh, that makes sense. And I appreciate that because, again, I know Kyle always says this, they don't treat people like they're stupid, because we will have questions and we are going to wonder what the origin story is. And Jericho, even though he has run his course at times where we're just like, oh my God, dude, we're over it, go take a break. he knows how to get his heat. And him going for the, pro wrestlers were never legends. Pro wrestlers were never millionaires. And you know why I'm both of those things? Because I'm a sports entertainer. And that is the quickest way to piss AEW fans off. So well done for him. Well done on the segment. Minus Jake Hager, please. That's somebody that I'm like, I wouldn't mind if he goes away. Please. But yeah, overall, I said he has the personality of a crouton, just like dry and flavorless.
How dare you make fun of croutons, man?
Listen,
I love my croutons.
Called,
how dare you?
Hold on. We have called people on this show, on just this show, we've called them cucks. We've called them drones. But somehow calling somebody a crouton is the meanest thing said on the show. Yeah. And I'm here for it. I am here for every single second of that because it perfectly describes Jake Hager.
Dry and flavorless. That's what it is.
Man.
That's what we're calling drones from now on. You fucking crouton.
No, see, Monty, he's not the garlic herb one. He's just the plain crouton. That's it.
Oh, that's even worse, bro.
My tweet today about being a friend like Chris Jericho, because if you notice, he brought up his former best friend Kevin. Did anyone catch that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Popskis. Because I loved Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho together.
Well, awesome.
Was like the best bad like buddy cop movie ever.
Yeah,
it was terrible, right? But it was so great that when he said that, I'm like, oh my god, he's really.
The Kevin Owens tweet?
I don't know.
I gotta go see the tweet.
He really is playing into this, and I love it. I think it's like you said, it's the easiest way to get people to hate you because he took a thing that he is making money off Vince McMahon, and he doesn't work for Vince McMahon. What a genius! Because Vince McMahon,
and he's using the Vince McMahon interview that just happened, right? Didn't Vince say something about? Yeah, didn't he say something like, "That's why they're called superstars" or whatever?
That's where microphone entertainer comes. That's where I got that because he said, well, "Would you rather be a pro wrestler or a sports entertainer?"
Kevin Owens.
That's Vince McMahon is like my favorite thing. I swear to God, it's so perfect.
Kevin said, "I'm a good friend."
Yeah, he tweeted, "I'm a good friend."
Yeah. But I mean, it was just a fun segment. Now, Kyle, as the Canadian on this show, are you officially a member of the JAS now after that segment?
I would if they were called the Inner Circle. I'm gonna stay on this tree all day long, man. If they're called Inner Circle 2.0, sure. I absolutely can't stand the JS. That's a fucking crouton of a name, man. I hate that shit. It's dumb. It doesn't come off the tongue well at all. It sounds like a segment rather than a faction name. No, I'm not for it. But it was hilarious. It was a well done promo with them making fun of sports entertainment.
Wait, and they called him Daddy Magic?
Yeah,
Matt Menard.
They called him Daddy Magic. Like the nicknames.
I want a fucking Daddy Magic shirt so bad. Give me a Daddy Magic shirt, somebody.
Which is interesting because
before Phil gets me an Owen Hart one.
He said that we're not like some wrestling companies that we changed our name, but I'm like, if you wanted to make fun of professional wrestling and be sports entertainers, wouldn't you have changed their names to something
that would be hilarious?
Yeah. That would be hilarious. He'd be like Rich. You're not
their real names. Yeah.
Butch sounds like a mechanic.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to Butch's.
Butch sounds like somebody who will never win a world title in that company. So here we are.
But great segment. I loved it, but I don't like the name. Plain and simple. It's a crouton of a name.
I'm just excited to see more 2.0 on TV because those guys are some of the most entertaining people in all of wrestling. They're absolutely hilarious.
Matt Menard feels like a 1980s heel. He's perfect. Like I love that guy.
Right down to the smacking gum when he's talking.
His picture, they're all like serious, and he's like, I'm like, I love it. I love it. Give me it.
Now another segment. We got a little vignette between matches that aired, and I think me and Ant definitely disagree on this. So definitely excited to kind of talk this out. We see a segment where Chris Statlander is looking in the mirror. She wipes the alien makeup off. She takes the contact out and just stares seriously into the screen. Later on in the night, she did not come out with the best friends in their match that they had. So do we think that this is going to be a drastic character change for Statlander? So Kyle, I'll start with you. What did you think about watching this?
I'm going to say maybe. I don't know if it's just for her in her feud with Layla Hirsch. She just wants to take it more seriously and get the win because Layla got the win over her at the pay-per-view. It's weird because like that's like her identity, right? She was always the alien. That was always her. Unless they have something really cool planned, and maybe she wants to. We got to remember too. This is not just like, AEW changing her character. Maybe it's something she wants to do because they give their talent creative freedom. If she doesn't want to be the damn alien anymore, she can go try something else. And hey, if it doesn't work, she can come back and be the fucking alien again. No one's stopping her. So I don't want people. Yeah. I mean, we can freak out and say, "Oh my god," like we can pop for it. But if people are complaining about it, you shouldn't complain about it.
Did you just say pop?
Yes, it popped.
It pops the boys
and girls.
Did not pop this boy.
It did.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm
not a fan of it.
You just gotta be fine with it. You just gotta be fine with it because
I'm okay with the direction they could take her in. I just think you didn't have to erase the alien part of it in order for her to be more serious, because she was serious in that Britt Baker match at All Out, right? And she didn't have to be anything crazy, right? I understand, yes, and people in the chat are saying it, that the gimmick was only going to take her so far, which I agree with, right?
Yeah, what did
especially
Ant say
when
yesterday?
she first started.
What did Ant say yesterday about Luchasaurus? If Luchasaurus wasn't a dinosaur, he'd be world champion.
He would. He's amazing. He's amazing. If he wasn't pigeonholed by a gimmick.
Yeah. So maybe Statlander.
I don't know if he'd be world champion.
Going the same way. What if maybe Statlander saw it as that? Maybe the alien thing's preventing her from becoming a world champion.
I mean, possibly. I guess you guys are right. I just like. I gotta wait and see, right? It's unfair for me to not like what we're being presented because we don't know anything other than a few second vignette. But Jackie, what do you think about this?
I'm willing to wait and see what happens. Yes, the alien character was very much, a part of who she was, and it was a part of her appeal as well because it made her very different from some of the other women on the roster. But I think she has gotten to a point where she may have outgrown that part of herself and can take it to a different level and see how that goes. So I think that, we'll wait and see how it plays out. But I'm excited for anything Chris Statlander does because she's freaking incredible in the ring and I love her.
Now, Ant, explain to all of us, especially me, why you are right about this.
I'm right because I'm right. Look at my track record. Would you rather be Phil or would you rather be right?
Don't give Twitter that fucking saying, okay?
Would you rather be Phil or would you rather be right? No.
Fucked up.
No, but it's just I feel like the early gimmicks and it was fun, right? And it was cool, but I feel like Chris Statlander is world championship material. I think she's got the look. I think she's got the moves to drive all the girls wild. She's just a sexy boy. No, I think
wow,
that took a left turn.
Once the head started going, I couldn't stop.
I knew as you said she got the looks, I was just waiting for it.
No,
that was a very big of a left turn as his eye.
Yeah, all of a sudden my eye turned left and I became the heartbreak kid. But I do think she has all the tools, right? And I think a lot of these early gimmicks pigeonhole people. You laugh, but like a guy Luchasaurus' size with his look could be a world champion with the way he can put on matches, right? But he's a dinosaur. Like he's over in that spot. Like, and I feel like that's the right spot for him. But like Chris Statlander could be so much more. I'm not a fan of like the alien weird gimmicks. Like I hope Danhausen gets better because I want to see him in the ring more. But yeah, you gotta exactly AOS coach. So there's a fun gimmick, but she's outgrown it. You drop it and move on and see it. And she could always go back to that. Maybe she could do like a split personality thing with it. Like you could make it creative and make it fun in a way. But I do think I can see Chris Statlander being a world champion, and maybe it's a start of something. Maybe Hirsch brought out something, and maybe she's a heel. Maybe she becomes a heel. She leaves the best friends, and then she starts going after Thunder Rosa, right?
Maybe, yeah.
She's a powerhouse. Like, make her look like a powerhouse, not like she's, going to Comic-Con.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, you working a shoot? Are you an alien? What's going on? Where's your spaceship? Working a shoot.
Where's your spaceship?
Now, speaking of the best friend, so
Dude,
we saw Brian
came down in a bubble, dog.
Yeah. You can look at me and tell me that I'm wrong? That I'm wrong?
Am I wrong?
Hold
Still
up.
the greatest video. Hold up. Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister?
An alien.
An alien.
Bro.
So what does that make her? Part of the best friends.
But speaking of the best friends, so we saw Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley go against Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta, which the match was incredible. It was great. But the thing that I really want to kind of focus on and talk about was after the match, right? And mouthing that he was right for audio listeners. So the story afterwards, Wheeler Yuta walks back into the ring after Danielson and Moxley win.
Yes.
And goes to shake William Regal's hand.
Popsy.
And William Regal open hand palm smacks God out of Wheeler Yuta.
She got amnesia, doesn't remember a goddamn.
Right? So, Jackie, how did it feel seeing this segment? And do you think that Ant will eventually be right and Wheeler Yuta will join this faction?
They called it the slap of honor on Twitter.
I feel like he was already right. You know, if I got to like listen to it,
We're starting our own show.
I got to listen to it back more closely with the headphones in, and after he slaps Wheeler Yuta obviously gets in his face, and then he's like, "I'll be back," and he's like, "I know you will," and I'm like, okay, so they're engaging something here. There's something brewing. Just with Wheeler Yuta walking away from the best friends to begin with. Yes, Ant, you did call it. But man, like
Next
I
up,
just want to
Moriarty. Watch.
Who?
Lee Moriarty.
Okay, I thought you said Jeff Hardy. I'm like, what?
No, you're not doing that.
That's a left turn off a cliff. Like, wait, hold on a second. He just got here.
Who's driving this thing?
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Like, maybe it's died down a little bit, and I'm gonna like do this to myself, but nobody's asking me how I feel about watching Wheeler Yuta get his shit rocked by William Regal on TV. Since I'm the Wheeler Yuta girl, apparently.
I think it has
like,
died down.
like the Statlander gimmick has died out.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's time. I think it's
Thank
outgrown it.
God, I'm free.
Damn.
I am free.
Yeah.
We wish you well in your future endeavors.
But Ant, real
Budget cuts.
quick, Ant.
Sorry, kid. Budget cuts.
How mad? Wait, who was it? You or Kyle? That stable was called For Honor.
No, that was Ant that made that
That
up
was
in his
Ant.
E-Fed.
How mad would you be if they were called For Honor?
I would love it. Because I have proof that I've had that. I have logos made. It was actually my idea for NXT when Adam Cole showed up.
Hit us up, you know.
I was throwing up in trash bags in Brooklyn, and then when we were at Smashburger, I said, I really think
We were
this could
not
be like
at Smashburger. We were at Shake
Shake
Shack.
Shack,
You
whatever.
fucking monster.
Bro,
Okay.
I don't even know.
You
Smashburger
freaking
is in Texas.
crouton. You damn crouton.
Yeah, you fucking
Oh, you were
crouton.
with me, bro. I didn't remember a goddamn thing.
You got amnesia, dude.
I had amnesia. No,
remember.
I listen. I'd be happy if it was For Honor. I think that you're gonna get Danielson, Moriarty, Yuta, and Moxley, and I think Garcia. They were probably wanted Garcia, but Garcia's gonna do the Jericho
And
thing,
then
which
Samoa
is
Joe
fine.
comes in and kicks Moxley out.
That'd be crazy. That'd be
Samoa,
insanity.
Samoa Joe comes in. It's gonna be like the South Park. Oh, what you say? Yeah. This nipple
Oh
rubbing.
no! Yeah,
Oh,
no.
Hey, I'm sorry.
So in a few short weeks, like you had first WWE completely steal the gimmick that you have with Sheamus and Cesaro. What did you call it?
The organization. Yep.
Yeah, the organization completely steal that by adding Pete
I'm
Dunne.
convinced they watch our E-Feds, man.
It's
I'm
because
100%.
Granter is money. Billionaire Kirk, cover of Forbes, 25 rising stars. That's why, folks.
Send it in the chat. You just popped me. Call it Honor No More. That's what the group is called.
It's like,
in
oh,
Impact.
wait.
That's pretty funny. Kyle, what do you think about this before we go to the
Man,
next
you
one?
see William Regal's like little stink guy right at the end, like right before the when Wheeler Yuta's walking back up the ramp. If you
It's
watch
like when
back,
Shawn Michaels blinks. Yeah.
his like eyebrow did like the whole like arch thing, like the evil like arch thing. You got to go back and watch it. I'm like, damn, I love this. I love everything about this.
Yeah, Regal's the fucking man.
Man,
Regal's someone that like they could sit down and have coffee and tea with you, and then fucking slam a glass in your head.
Dude, I want to sit there.
Oh,
and have
100%.
Like,
And
I
you'd
don't
accept
want to
it.
go to
And
a
you
con.
welcome it.
I don't want to go to a
Yeah.
con and meet him. Like, I want to sit there, have like a glass of whiskey with him and talk wrestling
Yes.
for like 3 hours.
I want to pay
Pick
for
his
him to
brain.
just open fucking palm smack me as hard as he can.
Sounds
fucking
kinky.
Beat the shit out of me.
That's gonna be
William
the thing
Regal,
at Double
please.
or Nothing in Vegas. They're gonna have like a get slapped by Regal booth. He's gonna go up and
just
Have
fucking
Britt
whack.
Baker
She's
on
like,
standby because she's
gonna-
gonna need to do a lot of
Regal's gonna
dental
have,
work on people.
Regal's gonna have like a fucking like ice packet with his hand.
yeah, like it's gonna be after All Out, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, my neck, oh, my back." He's gonna be like, "Dude, my hand is killing me."
I knew that was coming.
I know. I set Ann up perfectly for that.
Yeah.
But
I had to put my back into it. I don't stop. Just do it.
So I think the last thing that I want to talk about, I want to mention quickly. So we saw the opening segment, which was the Undisputed Era, or as Kyle loves to call them, Paragon, versus Hangman and Jurassic Express. Now, Kyle, I want to start with you. There was some crazy spots in this match, especially that triple moonsault move that all three of the baby faces hit in that match. What did you think about the match? And what did you think about the fact that Undisputed Era won this match? Or the Undisputed Originals, whatever the fuck they call them over there.
They're already Undisputed Elite. Anyways, fun
Circle
match.
2.0.
Fun match. Good way to open the show too, man. Crowd was really hot. You're always gonna get. That's why I think it's like Adam Cole's theme song. If you want to start a show hot, just have Adam Cole go out there no matter what. Like right at the beginning of the show, just have the crowd go into it and yell "boom" like 4 times. Like it's the best. But as for the match itself, very good. I was actually shocked that Adam Cole got the win over that. So I'm very interested to see what this transitions to, because they didn't mention the Bucks at all. Commentary didn't mention the Bucks. Bucks were like not at ringside or nothing. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't the story with the Bucks? And then we find out later that they're doing something with FTR. Are they? Is this because Kenny was projected to be here by now, but maybe because they announced it was a couple weeks before Revolution that it's now long term. He might not be here until Double or Nothing. Maybe they're just doing this in the meantime while Kenny, and wait till Kenny comes back. So Bucks are gonna do stuff with FTR. Who knows what Adam Cole and Red Dragon are gonna do? But I'm very interested to see where they go from here. But this was a very, very entertaining match. Man, I'm just going to call them Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era are the best. Like this, I still can't believe we get to see these three back together and now in AEW umbrella where they can just go ham and do whatever the hell they want. And, even still be that NXT version of Undisputed Era, just plus more. So I'm very happy with this whole intro. I marked out. I was a punter for this whole intro of AEW.
Jackie, what did you think of this segment?
It was a great way to open, and I think Kyle's been sneakily reading my notes, my show notes, because the first thing I said is there any better way to kick off Dynamite than with it's all about the boom? No,
these are her personal notes.
My personal notes,
okay.
The only notes I have are "Don't be a cuck" from Phil's class. That's the only thing I have written down.
But no, like for as chaotic as a 6-man tag could be, it was chaotic in all the right ways. Man, Adam Page is just such an athletic guy. Like it was a full showcase of agility, athleticism from everybody. But I think there's something about Adam Page. It's just when you look at him, he doesn't look like a guy that should be able to move the way that he does, but he's just freaking solid. I really like the fact that Adam Cole got the pin over Jungle Boy because there is that history of a feud between them already built in. And it's something that we've said in the past that they could go back and revisit going forward. But this is going to be my Dear AEW segment. And I'm just going to say that I implore you, AEW, to get Jurassic Express into a solid tag team feud. Because this little lollygagging in between.
Well, maybe it's going to be Red Dragon.
Maybe, yeah.
It could very well be, and I would totally be for that. But I just want them to ignite that a little bit and really go with it so that we're not in limbo again, the same way that we were in between when they won the titles to Revolution.
Well, again, it feels like the biggest feud is going to be FTR versus Bucks, right? That's going to overshadow, right?
Yeah,
if that's
happening,
I
agree.
What did we talk about before Jurassic Express night? The Bucks and FTR. It was more important.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem with the tag team titles, and it has been for like 8 months now.
Yep, you got to give
It's
them
very
something
true.
solid and established. You got to get us invested in the title run, not just what they do in the ring, because obviously we know that they're extremely skilled and talented. When they get out there, they're extremely over with the crowd too. But it's just like make the title run mean something in the long
I think
run.
though with Red Dragon, they can take that title run to a whole nother notch, right? We saw all the great work, especially the Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish when they were in NXT. They had some amazing feuds that didn't involve Adam Cole. That was just them when they were tag team champions. And this could bring out a serious side with Jurassic Express, because I could see them like just completely just eliminating Luchasaurus, like just completely destroying him and injuring him to the point where he's not a big factor in these matches. And the Jungle Boy Shawn Michaels that we've all been saying from day one, Jungle Boy is their Shawn Michaels, is going to start to fully form, because he's going to have to step up and carry the load for the team. And it's going to get us emotional. It's going to get us emotionally invested in these title runs. And if there's anybody in the company who could do it, it's definitely Red Dragon. But like Ann says, they're not going to be the main event. They're not going to be the main event when it comes to tag teams, because Bucks and FTR is a bigger deal.
Well, they got to if they build a proper feud, it could be on the level. It's just they don't have a proper feud. Right now, they're playing second fiddle to Adam Cole versus Hangman. Why was Jurassic Express Hangman's friends last night? Like, right? The Dark Order, you have that whole thing. They should have been like, build something around Jurassic Express. You didn't build anything around the Lucha Brothers. You didn't do it. They had an excellent match where they won, and then nothing's built. And that's not only a great compliment to the Bucks, who make everything feel huge, because when they were the champions, everything was built around the Bucks because they are so good at Easter eggs and storytelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's eventually now it's like the Bucks can't be your champions all the time. You have to build, and if you're going to build on Jungle Boy and Lucha, or Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, who are unbelievable talent, you got to give them something meaningful. You got to give them something on their own. Get Christian away from them. Get everyone away from them. Let them focus on being the tag team champions in a meaningful feud.
Yep.
Like, you have to, because if not, and you're just putting them on the card, it gets boring. And then your tag team division, which has the best tag teams in the world, is no better than what's going on in the other company, because the belts really don't mean anything.
Because
right.
At this
facts
point,
facts on facts.
I mean, at this point, if it's not going to be Red Dragon and you can't find anybody for the the Jurassic Express to have a feud with and lose, maybe just take the titles off of. There's one tag team right now that just got formed that's hotter than hell right now, and it's what we just talked about. Mm-hmm. Have Moxley and Bryan Danielson take the titles off of them, because they'll do more work with those tag titles with Regal than Jurassic Express is doing.
Well, because they make the titles.
Yeah.
Those guys make, so there's two things. The titles can make the talent, or the talent can make the titles.
Yeah.
That talent would make the titles. Because anything right now, what Moxley and Danielson are doing don't need titles, and everyone's all in. Imagine if you put a belt on them, then the titles automatically feel like they're up here.
Yeah,
yep,
it's very true. And whoever beats them will be a
huge
deal.
Huge.
Yeah, and hopefully Santana Ortiz is that team that beats them.
Can you imagine that?
FTR and the Bucks.
We just wrote, like, Tony Khan, steal our idea. Do that, and then have PNP defeat Bryan Danielson and John Moxley, of all people.
At Grand Slam at the end of in September. At Grand Slam 2, have Santana and Ortiz do that, because let me tell you something, brother.
Oh God,
we're gonna pop.
That's real heat, brother.
Gotta go light some candles and manifest that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking, before we get out of here, right? I got one more thing to say. Right?
Class time?
Do I go back?
If you want, but it doesn't have to be.
No,
right?
Okay, never mind.
All right, kids, sit down for class.
Before we get out of here, I want everybody who has ever talked shit about what AEW does, about talent, about this, about that, about diversity, do me a favor and look at the champions picture now. Okay? Look at the champions picture, right? You got Scorpio Sky, you got Jade Cargill, now you have Thunder Rosa, you have a fucking dinosaur, okay? And then you have Jungle Boy and Hangman Page. If that ain't the diversity, I don't know what else is, right? Tony Khan, listen, people had a problem with the way black talent was booked in this company. Now 2 of your champions are black, and they were done in a great way that has boosted both of them. And I understand Scorpio Sky was kind of out of nowhere, but he also hasn't lost in a year. So it's not out of nowhere. right? It was happening on Dark and Rampage and stuff that people weren't watching. But this is a good sign for the rest of the year, right? Black, Hispanic, a fucking dinosaur. Diversity, all right? Jesus Christ.
Oh.
And yes.
Professor
back,
Phil, Professor
Yeah.
Phil, quick question.
Yeah.
I heard that only WWE talent are AEW champions.
Oh, yes, that's a good point. I forgot to bring that up. And you get a gold star. You get
Thank
a gold
you.
star, gold sticker.
Yay.
You get 5 minutes extra recess today. So another thing, this misconception on Twitter that they're all WWE champions. Besides Luchasaurus, who was in WWE developmental for like, I don't know, fucking who knows, for like a week, right? They're all AEW originals. They're all people who were created stars here. And yes, they've wrestled other places besides Jade, but like they were made stars here. The proof is in the pudding. You're working or shooting. Twitter. Okay, I'm done.
No, I got a question, sir. Sir?
Yes, sir.
Got a question.
Mr. Masters.
Um,
Mr. Masters in the back.
So you talk about Twitter. I read something on Twitter very interesting, and I really need your opinion because I really need my notes over here. It says here, if you don't use it, you lose it. Is this facts?
This is facts.
God.
Also, I heard you and Anthony in the back talking, and I think I can solve the whole pan thing. It's
Okay.
panned with a D at the end.
Oh, it's like
P-A-N-D.
comb, like
Yeah,
P-O-M,
comb,
like
but
comb.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's 3 M's.
Boom. There's 3 M's.
And I want to take a hand from the chat. Ascended, Professor Philium. I heard that only WWE can book stories well. What are your thoughts on this? I have no thoughts because if you honestly, and I saw that on Twitter too,
Why did
that
Eric Bischoff get so hurt? This dude is hurt.
that AEW people say
His first
AEW
podcast.
doesn't do whatever fucking form storytelling. Like Hangman was 3 years,
Dude, it was just to get
Thunder
views.
Rosa was a year. Like, what else do you want,
Dude,
bro? Like, I don't know.
Bischoff
what's
just
good.
he's losing views. He had to say something to get people to tune back in. That's
It's-
all he
I
does.
guess so.
He's known for doing that. That's literally what he's doing. People are getting worked in a shoot, brother.
Listen,
Yeah, he's a little flip floppy.
you could be watching WWE every week, but stay in your fucking lane, all right? And talk about the things you know, because clearly you don't know AEW because you're not watching.
It's a
If you
great
don't
tool,
think
guys.
AEW does
Use the
long-term
mute button or
storytelling,
just don't listen to him.
yeah, or
great
just
tool.
fucking mute me because clearly I'm the only
No,
one.
just mute Eric Bischoff on Twitter. Just
Well,
that's all you got to
Jesus
do.
Christ.
You could be right or you could be Phil.
You could be right or you could be Phil. Great. Can't wait to get that tweeted at me.
You could be
I
Phil or
used
you
to
could be
already.
wrong.
You-
You
I already
fucking
tweeted
there you go.
crouton.
Cops got my back. You fucking croutons.
I can't believe
That should
got
be a
over.
shirt. You effing croutons.
Croutons.
Oh my
Holy
god.
font.
So a preview to so AEW calls it a very special start time. We call it you think you're fucking smoking something if you think
you
we're
know
gonna
me.
fucking
You
watch
think
this
you know
show.
me.
And
You-
no show Saturday.
Yeah, no show Saturday because of course
'Cause we don't feel
Rampage
like
is
it.
gonna be on at 11:30 at night,
It's okay.
and there's no way our old asses are making it
Not
through that show.
happening.
No.
Even though I will say the card is very impressive. The card is as follows: Darby Allin versus The Butcher, Layla Hirsch versus Red Velvet, which is another feud in the women's division, which I think has been really, really good. Keith Lee versus Max Caster, which is going to be really fun. And Bear Country and Fuego del Sol versus House of Black. And Nate, if you're still in the chat, I want you to know when they announced this match on Wednesday, I said, fuck, now I have to stay up and watch this.
You know
I was
what?
very upset.
That's not a
Is there
card to make.
anything more House of
It's
Black
not a card.
than seeing them come out at 12:30 at night
But
to
that's
see
not,
them wrestle?
that's not a card that makes me go, man, I should stay up to 11:30. Yeah, I want to see House of Black, but that's not a card that I'm like, man, I have to watch that.
We had a really big discussion on this, guys. If you check out the last Good Morning
It's the
Elite.
same thing. Like,
Yeah.
okay, House of Black, but like, give me something.
Also, if you guys haven't noticed, actually, the entrances have started already, and that's why we won't see them on Friday. Darby's walking from his home, wherever he lives, to the arena right now on a skateboard. He's skating there. That's why it's
Okay.
going to take so. It's on YouTube. AEW's YouTube is live streaming it right now.
Okay.
Y'all
Just
are
saying.
nuts.
But that's all we have for this week. If you guys want to follow the show, it's at Elite POV on Twitter and Instagram. We will start posting more on our Instagram as the weeks go. Same with TikTok, Elite POV clips on TikTok. We're going to start getting more into that, more short form content for you guys, because we definitely want to be able to reach all the audiences that we can, because we want to grow. We want to grow the show. We want to bring more great people into this chat, like the great people who are watching live on twitch.tv/Elite POV. Remember, if you're listening back on audio, 7 p.m. Eastern, you want to be in this chat. This chat's a lot of fun. This chat is crazy. Everybody has a great time. ElitePOVmerch.com to get the Pop the Boys shirt. And the hopefully soon.
The boys.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of good merch on there right now. You got Pop the Boys. You don't need a coffee cup to have a coffee, and baby faces have no friends.
And you don't need to toss out to be a crouton.
Yes, and remember also, like I said, the GoFundMe on Jackie's Twitter. Make sure you go support that so we can support Nate in the chat with the surgeries that he wants to get. So please, if you guys have any, please do that. Patreon.com/Elite POV with all the great shows, all the great stuff that we have coming up. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Shout out to Heel, who did a great job on his first episode of Good Morning Elite this past weekend. If you haven't listened to that episode, it's very important because we touch on all the stuff that Ant, Kyle, Heel, and Nate the Great, who was there from our Patreon. Shout out to him. What they think is wrong with Rampage and how they think they could fix it. It's a very important episode. Make sure you go check that out. But Jackie, actually, no, you can follow me on Twitter, whatever, Philly Elite. Who gives a fuck? Tell me I'm an asshole, whatever. Jackie, let them know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24 and on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
And Ant, let them know where they can follow you, and let them know about AWF Ambition happening this weekend.
Just don't fucking follow me.
Oh my goodness.
Don't follow me. I only want Anthony Appreciation Society members can only follow me and talk about me. But gimmick aside, all fun aside, Kyle and I have worked really hard. I think we put in over 52, 55 hours each on our E-Federation. We are combined. We're one company. I have a show Sunday. He has a show Monday. It all kicks off this Sunday with Ambition. It starts at 6:30 p.m. There'll be no upgrades or anything this week. This week's just like for people to get the hang of it. And then next week, the upgrades will start. But come watch. A lot of people in our chat have characters. It's super fun. I'm in character. I say ridiculous shit as I do on this show. But there's
even
not
more.
Jackie's not there to censor me. So it gets even worse. But please just come give us a follow, at least give us a watch. And, you know, if you're a part of this community and you go, hey, I want to be in this, Kyle and I will probably put you in if you're a member of the Elite POV community because you support us so much. Of course, you could be in our EFED and have a character. I know Adam does, Ascendant does, Chris does, everyone, Jackie does, Phil does, I do. Like, we all have characters, and it's super fun. So come hang out, twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed. Sunday at 6:30 and Monday at 7 will be our two shows, Ambition and Breakout. I'm still working on stuff right now for the show. I feel like I'm actually producing a show. My stream deck is filled with shit that I have to remember how to order.
Yeah, it's
and listen, this isn't like the other E-Feds you may see on YouTube and stuff like that, where it's just strictly them talking over matches or whatever. Kyle and Ant put a ton of love and a ton of work into these shows, and it is the most fun you're going to have watching someone play a video game. And they're not even playing it. They're just commentating over simulated matches. But the game is wonky. The game gets crazy. The game gets fun, right? And it has
people cut promos. Yeah.
Oh my God. And people send in promos. This is what I'm saying. Trust me, this is something you want to be in on, right? We're all wrestling fans here. We've all dreamed of being in a wrestling ring. This is your way of getting to do it without destroying your body like Britt Baker did last night. So it is so much fun. But Kyle, let them know where they can follow you and stuff you got going on.
I'm just going to add on to that. Like, it's actually very entertaining. If you were leery of like trying to join, if you had thoughts about doing it, just come and watch. Just come and watch this Sunday and Monday. You don't even have to participate in the chat. Even if you just want to watch and see what it's like and just kind of see what the chat's like, if you're kind of interested. If you really liked what you've seen, Twitch allows you to make a free account. You can make a free Twitch account. That's all you need. And then hit up me or Ant, and then we'll make your character. You know, like, we really want... It's all about you guys in the chat. If it wasn't for you guys in the chat, we'd be doing no E-Fed. Like, I wouldn't be sitting here doing E-Fed with 20 created characters that I made. You know, I'd rather... It's much more fun when you guys make the characters out there. Like, me and Ant have our own characters in it, but we much more have... We have more fun with your guys' character when you guys send in promos and when you guys are interacting in the chat and you guys are going nuts.
Having your own Twitter accounts as your talent is
character,
hilarious.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we want to have a lot of fun with this. So again, if you're ever interested in doing it, or you want to see what it's like, come watch us. Again, Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time for Ant's show. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time for my show. It's a real good time. Again, twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed. And you can follow it on Twitter at twitter.com/AWF_EFed. And then you can follow myself on Twitter at AllEliteKyle as well.
And thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still in the live chat right now, Jackie just posted that GoFundMe link for everybody, so make sure you click it and donate where you can. But thank you guys for another great episode of Elite POV. And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy, and our champion is motherfucking Latina, baby.
And remember,
go.
You could be right or you could be Phil.